Oh, my name is Dr. Maya Byfield. My business is The Phenomenal STEMist. I'm so excited to be here in Orange County because it's where I live. I live in Apopka, Florida. And I decided to make this business because I saw a need for underrepresented students to be successful in STEM, which stands for science, technology, engineering, math. And the best way I can do that is just provide products for parents to prepare them, whether it's a book or online STEM camps or just video podcasting. My goal is to transform this community, especially those who are underrepresented. And the way to do that is to help parents understand their children's minds and basically develop them at different stages of their lives to be prepared for a successful STEM career. Thank you so much. That's why I'm here. My name is Dr. Maya. Hello, my name is Dr. Maya Byfield. How is everyone doing? Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to Phenomenal Financial Freedom. Who's with me? Who's with me? Who's with me? Who's watching? Who's watching? Do me a favor, share, subscribe, comment. We're talking about something interesting today. A while ago, about 3 months ago, I came on here discussing cryptocurrency, and I'm excited to talk about what I've learned over the past 3 months. But before we get into it, the first thing I have to do is plug my book, The Phenomenal STEMist. It's available on Amazon as we speak, so feel free to check it out. Always remember to like or follow me on all social media platforms, especially subscribe to my YouTube channel, Dr. Maya Byfield. Would really, really appreciate it. And lastly, if you're interested in having your children in any type of STEM program, whether it be for a year, 3 months, or 1 month, let me know. Put you on at any time on your schedule, okay? Well, that's it for the homework for the day. Anybody here? I see a couple people watching, but gotta say hi for me to acknowledge you. All right, well, we're gonna jump right into um, the five inherent risks of cryptocurrency. So I told you last 3 months ago I ventured off into um, just learning about crypto. Well, I wouldn't say. Well, I wouldn't. Let me rephrase that. In 2018, I learned about crypto, and I wanted to um, just investigate it further 3 months ago. So I put money into crypto back in 2018. I decided I decided to jump back in and be a little bit more consistent because there was money to be had in 2018 if I had just consistently dollar cost averaged. There was great money to be had from the time I invested. I just put a lump sum in and didn't really continue on. I didn't really look at it. So I said, okay, let me actually. I don't usually put money in things that I don't understand. So if I was gonna come continually do something like dollar cost averaging, meaning every month put a certain amount of money in the investment, then I'm gonna have to really learn about it. And like one of my favorite investment moguls, Warren Buffett, is anti crypto. He said if he had $25, he he wouldn't buy it if it was free. He is so anti, but he's also 90 years old in his 90s. So I take his advice with a grain of salt when it comes to new things. However, I take his advice very seriously. So I saw that a lot of African Americans are into crypto in a disparate way. Like, remember, African Americans are only 12% of the population, yet 23% of them own crypto. or 23% of the crypto owners are African American, compared to 11% of the crypto owners. That, that troubled me, because I felt like we are placing money in a really risky investment. Um, I mean, I have trouble with African Americans investing in the stock market. They don't invest in the stock market. There's a disparity in the stock market. There's a disparity of investment in education. There's a disparity of investment in real estate. But we're excelling on one of the most riskiest investments. Yeah, I was troubled a little bit by that. I'm not gonna say that I don't have any crypto, but it should not be the major investment. I think we should focus on healthier, well diversified, stable investments, more, and and consider cryptocurrency a high risk. So I decided. Remember, I told you, like, I'm gonna share my screen. I um I made a fake account in LiveCoin Watch. I made a fake account in LiveCoin Watch, and it's basically a replica of the type of investments I have, but I have, a little bit more long term. But what I wanted to do is just focus on three three major investments and see what happens over 3 months. Now, I want you to know that the crypto market crashed since we've had this conversation. So back in May, I hope you can see me. Uh, Let me make sure you can see me. Yep, you can see me good. Okay. Back in May, I created this live coin watch with phenomenal financial freedom as the owners of cryptocurrency. So we own cryptocurrency as of May 2022. So and then we would dial. I said we were going to dollar cost average, meaning I said we're going to put a certain amount of money in crypto every month. Like, if you decide to do $100, $500 every month, in my opinion, what I've learned from others and what I feel comfortable myself is 3% of my income. Only 3% of my income. Meaning, and that's if I do all, meaning after I put towards my debt, in my mortgage, to get out of mortgage debt early. After I max out my Roth IRA, after I pay my bills, after I max out my HSA, my health savings account, right? I mean, I don't have any credit card debt. I'm working against my mortgage. I'm trying to be debt free by 50. Shout out. Can anybody repeat after me? Debt free by 50, right? So when I say debt free, I mean 100% debt free, like nothing, no mortgage, no credit card, no car loan, nothing. Debt free by 50. So I have to do certain things to get that goal, right? I have to max out my Roth IRA. I think that this is just my opinion. I think that that should be the major focus. Like, if you have a credit card debt of $5,000 paying 29% interest, why are you in crypto? Like, that's a struggle for me. That's a real struggle for me, okay? And there's so many, if you can't pay your tuition, why are you in crypto? Like, you're dropping out of college, but you in crypto? Like, education is well known to bring wealth, but you're choosing crypto over a college education? The stock market has a track record of bringing people wealth, but you're choosing crypto over the stock market? So crypto should be the last resort, and it should be a small portion, in my opinion. I'm just, all I can do is do for me. I'm not a financial advisor. It should be a really small portion of your income after all has paid. All of the priority. The key word I think is priority. I told you Warren Buffett don't want zero in it, and I'm not following him on that, right? But if I'm in debt or if I have other ways of increase, it should be the minority. All right, so at any rate, what we decided was to put dollar cost average. So I basically, the first month, which was May, see here, May 18th, May 18th, 2022. What happened? Can you see this? The market crashed. When I invested in Bitcoin, I lost 20%. When I invested in Ethereum, I lost 17%. When I invested in Ripple, I lost 7%. The market crashed. But I didn't get worried. Why? Because, that's crypto. Crypto is volatile. So the next month, I invested. Guess what happened? It went up. It went up 50%. It went up 12%. It went up 20%. It went up 10%, right? You see what I'm saying? So, sorry, 20% and 50%. So I kept on. If I had just cried and ran away, then I wouldn't have had that 50% boost. It's volatile. See, it swings. And then I did it again. I invested again in July and it went up another 40%. So guess what? Even though I crashed hard, by dollar cost averaging, I'm still in the green. Not much. I'm only making a profit of $13, which is less than 1%. Less than 1% because of the crash was real bad. But it would have been worse. Hear me now. If I had invested went right before the crash and then it crashed and I lost a lot of money, if I had sold at the low, I would have lost all that money. If I had stayed scared, I wouldn't have regained $13. I gained $13. I mean, it was looking really bad. I think it crashed 30%. So if the first investment was like $400, I think. So it was like you lost like $100 and something dollars in that first month, but you still plugged along. We still fake plugged along, and I did too with my own personal. So and this is Phenomenal Financial Freedom's Live Coin Watch. Is a free website which teaches about cryptocurrency and what would happen if you had invested and what would happen when you buy. Right? My point is still 1%. Here's the thing. Let me stop sharing. The stock market went down too at the same time. The stock market went down, and over 3 months, it's down 5%. It's down 5%. The stock market has rebounded a little bit. So over the last month, it's up 9%. But look what I just showed you. Hey, Sister Peggy, how are you? Look what I just told you with the live coin watch. In the month of July, the stock market boomed 9%. This S&P 500, Standard & Poor's S&P 500. So if you had kept investing in the S&P 500, even in July, even when it was crashing because of the recession and the fears and all that stuff, you would have made 8% on your money. But here's the thing with crypto. That same investment in July would have made in Ethereum would have made you 40%. Right? That same investment in June would have made you 50%. You see what I'm saying? It's a dramatic cryptocurrency. This is not one more time. This is not a plug for cryptocurrency. I'm just telling you. Cryptocurrency, when the booms are booms, they're massive. So with a month, the stock market went up 8%. With a month, the crypto market went up 50%. That same $500 that you invested in a low cost index fund, right, would have made you, let's do the math. Let's do the math, Nama Simmons. What is 10% increase of $500? You would have made $50. You would have made $50. Wow, that's great, right? But if you had invested that same $500 over the same period of time in Ethereum, right, you wouldn't have made $50. How much you would have made, right? It's a 50% increase, right? Okay. So let's do that. So if you have $500, you would have made $250. 50 versus $250. You see? Like, wow, massive explosion. All right. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. There's high risk with cryptocurrency, guys. 5 inherent risks. 5 inherent risks. Let's talk about it and then I'll let you go. Who else is watching? Who else is watching? One of my greatest supporters, Sister Peggy Carter, is watching. Yeah. Um, number one. Number one. The first risk is it's a business risk. Okay? It's a business risk. What do I mean by it's a business risk? Uh they're they're not backed by a central bank. They're not backed by organizations that have assets and value. Crypto has no inherent value. Most cryptocurrencies, meaning it's only moving 100%. Like that 50% move is not based on. It's based on sentiment. It's not based on business, right? J.P. Morgan Chase. I don't know if it made a move. I haven't seen it. But that's a stock, right? You know, they banks own property. Banks own accounts of people with massive assets. Like there's a connection with assets. Crypto is just a loss of confidence in the market will cause this real crash, and that's why it's so volatile. That's why 1 month it will be down 50%, and the next month it'll be up 50%. So it's like it's a gambling market, it seems. And I'm not saying it is. The reason why I'm into crypto is because I'm thinking that this type of technology is going to have assets uh, associated um, with the new types of technologies in the future. And so I'm getting it early. I don't want to miss Apple again. I don't want to miss Google again. I don't want to miss Amazon twice. So right now it's this way because it's developing technology, but I believe there's a lot of buy-in to many institutions, but it's still an increased risk. Number two, it is a fraud risk. Fraud risk, a cyber fraud risk. There are so many people who are getting scammed with cryptocurrency scams. And there's no protection. There's no recovery. There's protection with the banks. And I'm not saying you should have all your money in the bank, but there's protections even with the IRAs. There's protections. Massive amounts of protections that have been modified and studied over years. Over years. And if there's a problem, you could use the law to get your money back. You cannot do that with cryptocurrency. Massive amount of. So with me, I created my own Coinbase Pro account. I learned as much as I can, and so I'm doing this by myself. I'm not you people will say, "Oh, I will help you," and then they'll scam you. So if you're gonna get into something, you have to do your own research and you have to study it hard and you have to be very diligent. And I've noticed in life that a lot of people don't want to be diligent. They want the easy way. Well, you can't take the easy way with crypto because there's too many loopholes to get your money stolen. Lots of fraud. And it's when it's lost forever. Number three, talking about the five inherent risks of cryptocurrency. I told you it's risky. High risk, high reward. Number three, there's an operational risk. Operational risk. What do I mean by that? There's this process where it involves encrypted private keys, and it's like a long username basically. And if you lose that, if you cannot get it, so a lot of the times you have to use a device to use like three forms of identification. If you lose the phone that gets you hooked up to to your there's just so it's very so cryptic, so secretive that you have to hold on to the secret, if that makes sense. And when it's only $100 and $200 invested, if you lose it, the key or lose something, then you're like, well, I lost it. But what happens when 10 years from now, 20 years from now, you've been dollar cost averaging in crypto and your mechanism to get in has disappeared. The private keys, the IDs, there's an operational risk with with um with the regular banks and regular Roth IRAs and HSA accounts, these type of investments. You can call somebody. There's a process. It's central, like it's set up in a way that you can get your money. The operational risk is high. And how do you pass it on to your children? You have to make sure you have a trust or something that has all this information. You see how like intense this is? Cryptocurrency, in my opinion, is intense. And it seems easy to get your money in and out, but just looking at it over time, like long distance, long term, um, there aren't that many safety nets. That's my point. It's like walking on a tightrope and there's no safety net. The banks, the IRAs, the health savings accounts, education system, all those things have well documented processes and safety nets. Cryptocurrency, not so much. High risk. Number 4, regulatory and compliance risk. The government is constantly trying to get at crypto. I was in crypto back in 18, and I was basically using Binance via the UK's organization, I believe, to buy other crypto coins. And then the SEC got involved with them, shut Binance down, that you can't even use Binance in America. Like I would have to go to another country to use it. So I had to get a 1 week access to get my stuff. It was intense. Countries are so anti this, or they're trying to make their own digital currency, and and they're getting involved, and there's a lot of regulatory and compliance risk. I went and bought XRP Ripple. I found a way to buy it, but it's not allowed in on Coinbase because the SEC is is suing them, or yeah, taking them to court. Now I think they're going to win, and so I think it's going to go 32 cents to higher, so I took the risk and purchased some for phenomenal financial freedom, fake phenomenal and myself. I purchased the real ones for me and the fake ones for y'all. We'll see what happens at the end of the year, but there should be a dramatic increase if they win their case against the SEC. But my point is, they shut them down, and when they shut them down, their stock, their crypto plummeted. So there's a lot of regulation. And lastly, number 5, um, market risk. Market risk. There's not that many crypto. And so I don't even understand how to mine it. People are mining it, or you gotta somebody has to be willing to sell it to buy it. And what happens when issues occur and there's a market risk, right? So people start to hoard theirs and not wanting to sell. Yeah. Um, what am I saying? I'm saying it's a risky investment. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying crypto is extremely risky. You should not have a lot of money in crypto, in my opinion. In my opinion. Let me rephrase that. It should not be your number one priority. Let me rephrase that. Crypto is not my number one priority. You could do whatever you want. I don't want you to say, man, you told me not to get crypto and I could have gotten it and I could have been a millionaire. I'm just troubled that people aren't returning tithe, but they're buying crypto. What I mean by they ain't invested in God. I put that out there for the treasurer of Papist Chapel SDA Church. Thank you, Sister Carter. People aren't trusting in the Lord, but they trusting in crypto. That's what I'm saying. The priority is you invest in God. Number 1. Number 2, you invest in yourself. Get an education to have a good career, a solid purpose, and education has made me more money than crypto, the Roth IRA, whatever, my business, whatever. Shout out to my job that I just said peace out to for 3 weeks. Hallelujah. I get paid well and I'm always resting. We call it vacation. It was because of my education that got me this great, well-paying job. Shout out to education, investing in myself. Invest in God, invest in yourself. Invest in retirement. Retirement, Roth IRAs, 401ks up to the company match. Debt freedom. Invest in debt freedom, like not having a mortgage at 80. Trying to get out of a mortgage while you can. Not paying interest, even if it's just 5%. 5% on $300,000 is a lot of money. How much is that? That's $15,000 per year. Per year, not $15,000 over overall. Every year you don't pay your mortgage off, you're adding $15,000 to that mortgage. That's why some people buy a mortgage and they buy a house at $300,000 and overall they paid $700,000 for it. Right? That beats crypto. Saving yourself $400,000 beats crypto to me. So getting out of debt, not paying all that money to your credit cards and your car loans. Right? These are well-established ways of wealth, and I feel like that should be priority. It needs to be priority. And then after the priority is finished, then put a small. So I'm reading the people who are doing it, professionals that are into it. just 3% of your income. Meaning if you make $50,000 a year, what's 3% of that, right? About 15 um I think $1,500. If I did the math right. About $1,500. That's it. That means every month you only put $100 in Bitcoin or Ethereum. So I'm not saying not have any, and $100 in Ethereum, I told you just now, could have has increased if you had to put it in the right time. Like if you put $100 in last month, then you would already have extra dollars. You would have made by the second month. You would have made your $100 back. It's that powerful, but it's volatile. And just as much as you made that $100 back in 2 months, you can lose that $100 in 2 months. And that's why it cannot be a priority investment. It is very risky. And you got to be careful of who you talk to with crypto, and you have to learn it yourself. If you're going to get into it, any investment, don't do things blind. Don't do things blind. Us folks, we're always the first ones to get ripped off. And I know we're like, I don't want to get into this thing too late. We're always the late comers. And that's what we're pushing now. Getting it early so we're all into NFTs and cryptos and Web3 and Web4 and like learn what you invest in. Try your best to understand it, and be careful of risky investments. Am I in crypto? I told you yes, I have some. But it is a minute part of my portfolio. Minute part of my portfolio. All right. Well, thanks for watching. And I hope you learned something. I'm not trying to scare you off of crypto. I'm just trying to inform you of the 5 inherent risks. We made money, guys. Even if it was just well, what was it again? Let me see what it is now. It moves so much in the short period of time. Like this morning was we made $50. Right now, we made like earlier on it was like $8, right? Now it's $16. You see how volatile it is? You see how volatile it is? It's almost $17 now. It went from it's like 0.86 to like 0.2. But that's all we made. All we made was 1%. However, that's because we dollar cost average. Because I'm telling you, when we first invested in May, we lost half the money. So we got a rapid turnaround to make the money back, make the money back and make some money on top of the money. That's what happens in crypto. It's extremely volatile. That's a high risk. All right. See you guys.